Very important in these times, particularly if you're paying for water, to understand that your Part A, which is your fixed charge, and your variable charge, that makes the water more expensive as your allocation is reduced because of the transfer of Part A. So if you keep that in mind, that it is more expensive to buy the water, you should be looking at areas where you can convert that water to more yield. So in other words, don't irrigate areas that you've got poor returns or returns that should have actually come out. Focus on the areas where you know you're going to get maximum production off the area, and even your soil types. Look at what's the potential growth yield is in particular. In some cases, the system capacity needs to be looked at as well. A lot of the systems that were designed in the early days were systems that were very much supplement irrigation. And with reduced rainfall or effective rainfall, this has become very important to look at your system capacity and the managed system capacity. So how we differentiate between those is your design system capacity is really how much water you could apply if you pump for 24 hours a day. In the real world, we have like some pump utilisation ratio, which is really what's practical. You might be somebody that shares the pump with another system or another crop. It could be that you need to go away and can't leave the irrigation unattended. That all erodes away at that 24 hours of available pumping time. Our system capacity, we want to know whether or not we can supply enough millimetres per day for the crop. And in some cases, in drought conditions, that it's more important to allocate that water that you've got available to those areas where you're going to convert irrigation water into yield. With our system capacity, we want to know whether or not we can supply enough millimetres per day for the crop. And in some cases, in drought conditions, that it's more important to allocate that water that you've got available to those areas where you're going to convert irrigation water into yield. By reducing irrigation pumping, that will help absorb some of those escalating costs from a reduced allocation. There's plenty of examples where just simply changing a pump has reduced a cost from $150 down to $80, and that could very much help you with the escalating cost of a megalitre of water.